Right. Hello and welcome to a pretty big game. It's got to be said, even as an Arsenal fan, it's a big game. Uh, it's Tottenham against Chelsea, and I think for both teams, I think they're absolutely um, just like set up for a huge game today. Absolutely huge. Spurs obviously fighting to get top of the table again. Um, and they seem to be high flying. They're doing very, very well, albeit they've had a fair few games which have been fairly easy to win, and they've struggled through some games which they absolutely should not struggle with. But they are winning. They're second at the moment. If we look at the table at the moment, they are second only to Man City, who went top with that. Was it 6-1 in the end or 5-1 against Bournemouth? But they're second. Spurs, even if they lose tonight, they're still second, and they've done amazingly well. So all credit to them. Some of their front play and their attacking play is probably what's taken a lot of people aback this season. They're very surprised, probably because everyone's gotten so used to watching a defensive Tottenham for the last sort of 3 or 4 years, ever since Pochettino left. And now this attacking team has come out of the blue, and they've absolutely stormed past teams. So, yeah, that's something to look forward to today. They play a Chelsea team who are very Marmite. They can look great sometimes on a few occasions, but they have also this season looked absolutely shocking. If we look at some of their fixtures, or some of their results this season, if I were to look at Chelsea's results this season, it's not happy reading. Because a lot of Chelsea fans will agree with me. I think that they've not had the best of seasons. Their best result, I would say, was probably the 2-2 draw against Arsenal, which they played really well and probably should have won that game had they not thrown it away. But their results from the start of the season, they drew 1-1 with Liverpool. They lost to West Ham 3-1. They beat Luton 3-0, and they lost at home to Forest. Drew away to Bournemouth, which is that's a weird result because a lot of teams have gone to Bournemouth and won this season. They've lost at home to Villa, which fair enough. Villa are a good team, but then they've beaten Fulham away and Burnley away before drawing 2-2 against Arsenal, and you think, okay, they're back, they're getting there, and then they lost 2-0 at home to Brentford. So, and I think, unfortunately for Chelsea, Spurs are exactly the kind of team that are going to really worry Chelsea, I think, defensively, because Brentford played this very defensive. Well, no, that's not true. They played a solid defense with a very quick response on the counter attack. I'm expecting exactly that kind of thing with Spurs tonight. Maybe with a bit more of a kind of a further front foot approach. But I'm going to turn this off actually because I think it's just not as. I was going to listen to the pre-match stuff, but it's not really worth it. They've they could end up setting up in such a way that will make it very, very, very difficult for Chelsea for Chelsea to live with them. So we'll see. Looking at the lineups though, I'll just bring them up for you. We'll have a look at those. Tottenham start with Vicario in goal, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, and the doggy. I've never seen Tottenham play live this season, so again, as an Arsenal fan, just putting that out there, I am not going to be wholly impartial. I would love to be, and I will try my best to be, but at this point, like, it's very unlikely I'm going to be very impartial. It's like much more likely I'm going to be supporting Chelsea, although I hate both of these teams, to be fair. But like, I'd rather Chelsea win at this point, given where Spurs are at in the league. So we've got Vicario in goal, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, and the doggy. That defence has had a lot of rave reviews, although I don't think Romero is a very good defender. I don't know how he managed to win the World Cup. It's just beyond me. Porro's okay, but I think defensively he's a bit all over the place. Udogie has been the most impressive. I think I did watch, not the whole game against Arsenal and Spurs Arsenal, but I did watch obviously the highlights, and I know that Udogie did a brilliant job on Saka, I think it was. and he did really, really well. Basuma has just come out of nowhere and has started playing amazingly after being sat on the bench at Spurs for the last 2 years. And Sarr, who did make a few appearances, I think, towards the end of last season, and he was actually looking pretty good, so he's made a spot his own. Kulusevski, Maddison, and Johnson behind Son. And this is something I remember saying about Spurs for quite a long time, is if you put together everything that they've got, everything, and they play the attacking style that I think a lot of their players are suited for, they're a dangerous team, even without Postecoglou coming in and performing wonders with them. I think they had the bones of a really, really good first 11 at least, and they've got a very, very good, especially having Kulusevski. When Kulusevski came in, that January that they came in, I think it was a couple of years ago. That basically completed that front three. It had Son on one side, Kulusevski on the other, and then Kane down the middle. Now they've got Maddison on the left, Kulusevski on the right, or actually Johnson tonight. It'll be Johnson on the left, Maddison through the middle, Kulusevski on the right, and Son in front. And it's a really, really well put together team, and it's almost kind of fallen in their lap a little bit. I'm not really sure that's quite how Postecoglou. Well, I think Postecoglou, when he was given this job, he would have been absolutely over the moon with the amount of attacking options he's got, the kind of football that he plays. I think this is just perfect for him. You think about his days at Celtic and Australia. Not Australia. Greece? I can't remember. I know he's Greek, but I'm sure he's managed the Australian team. But they didn't do particularly well. Whereas the Celtic team were just kind of all-out attack, constantly running in behind. And this is the kind of thing I think Chelsea are going to struggle with. Speaking of Chelsea, looking at the Chelsea team, they've got Sanchez in goal, James Disasi, Thiago Silva, Colwill. I'll talk about that in a second. Fernandes and Palmer. Ooh, hang on. Why have they written it like that? It should be Fernandes and Gallagher behind Palmer. No. Oh, Fernandes and Caicedo. I missed Caicedo. Fernandes and Caicedo behind Palmer, Gallagher and Sterling, who's behind Jackson. So they're both looking like they're going to play a 4-2-3-1. But here's the slight bit of, I think, flexibility in this Chelsea team, which isn't really present in this Tottenham team. I don't think Spurs can do what I'm about to say with Chelsea. Chelsea are playing with essentially three centre-backs in their back four, with James playing as more of a kind of right wing back, I think. Whereas you've got obviously Disasi who plays centre back, Thiago Silva plays centre back, and Levi Colwill I always thought was a centre back. I've never really seen him play at left back. If you're a Chelsea fan and you're watching this, correct me if you want. That's fine. But I've never seen him play at left back, and if that is what they're going to do, I worry for them, because they've got left back against the right winger of Kulusevski, and he's probably one of their best players. So that doesn't look great, unless they're planning on just sitting back and making two backs of four and just defend. I don't think they're going to do that. I think Chelsea's best performances this season have come when they've gone and attacked the game and they've taken the game to the opposition. What they could do is they could play James as right wing back, then Disasi, Silva and Colwill at centre back, and then maybe bring Colwill or Palmer in at left wing back. I don't know. That's the problem. That, I suppose, is the problem position. Who plays at left back right now? If you're a Chelsea fan watching this, who does play at left back for you outside of what's his name now? Chilwell. I can't think of anyone else. I've heard Gusto is on the bench, which I'm also surprised at. I don't know if he's coming back from injury. I did hear he got an injury a little while ago. Mudryk's on the bench as well. I think against this Tottenham team who want to press forward, who want to attack you, I think Mudryk would be just a perfect answer to that. But then I suppose he's gone with a lot of players who are in form. They've played very well. Most of this team played against Arsenal and played really well. So I would expect a good performance, I think, from this Chelsea team. I still think Spurs will win. I'm not trying to jinx them, but I just think they're more they're more of a functional team. When I look at that team, I think everyone fits in that position, in each position correctly. I think that Tottenham defence is a bit suspect. I don't think it's amazing. It's definitely not as good as what people think it is. I think the way they play helps how they defend. But if they come up against a team who's going to dominate the ball more than them, I do wonder how Spurs deal with that. Because I do remember the North London derby, Spurs had moments where they kept the ball, but I think it's fair to say Arsenal pushed the game more than Spurs did. And when they did have the ball, it looked like Arsenal could just cut through Spurs at will. So I don't know. It was a tricky. It's a tricky game for both teams, I think. And if you offered both teams a draw, I don't think Spurs would take it, given where they're at. But I think Chelsea would. And this is the thing, I think. But I do think it is basically one of these games that both teams want to win, which is exactly the kind of game that you want to watch. So, with that in mind, just having a look at the table for a second. Spurs need to win to go top, as we know. But a draw would not take them top. Their goal difference is 13, plus 13. Man City have had a couple of 5-goal wins, I think, already this season. They're up to plus 20. But the important thing for Spurs is if they stay unbeaten, they will establish at least a 3-point lead over Liverpool and Arsenal after 11 games. That's pretty good. And if they can win, then you've got to think that Champions League for them will be an absolute certainty. I can't see a way how they can't finish top 4 with the start they've had unless they absolutely crash. And I suppose the only thing, if we just go back to the lineups for a second, the only thing that could cause that crash could be a few injuries at the front. Because if you look at what backup Spurs have right now going forward, is not great. Richarlison, striker. Bentancur is a midfielder, really. He's not a striker. My stream has stopped, which is fun. Oh, okay, that's why. So the outside of Richarlison, Hill as well. They've got Hill. I'm pretty sure that Spurs are trying to get rid of him, but yeah, hey ho. It's interesting. Say, right. So I'm just going to leave it on. If there are any issues with internet and that kind of thing, I did notice a few issues yesterday with drop frames and everything like that, but it didn't seem to be a massive inhibitor of the stream. You could still hear me, you just couldn't see me all the time. So hopefully today that'll be fine. By the time this starts, though, you might notice that the lineups are going to go a bit weird. So I'm probably going to go to my stats scene. Hopefully that'll help a little bit, and I can then edit a few things. A beefy bench. I wouldn't go that far. They're saying that Spurs bench is beefy. Let me just read that out for you. Skip. He's okay. Passion. Pride for the shirt. Højbjerg. Spurs have been looking to get rid of him for a while now. Richarlison. Yeah, okay. Plays for Brazil. Fair enough. Hill. No, they're trying to get rid of him. Emerson Royal. Trying to get rid of him. Dyer. Trying to get rid of him. Lo Celso. It's been alright. I'm pretty sure they're trying to get rid of him as well. Forster, yeah, he's a backup goalkeeper, and Bentancur is actually a good player. I think in that centre defensive mid position with Sarr, Basuma, Højbjerg, Skip, and Bentancur, they are very well stocked. They could do quite a lot of things there, but there's lots of other players in there, like Richarlison, not Richarlison, but Hill, Emerson Royal, Dyer, Lo Celso, all of those players. Yes, they have got experience, but I don't think they're necessarily players that Spurs necessarily want to keep. And that's an indication of how strong a squad is. I think if you look at Arsenal's benches over the last few games, they have been stacked. And there's nothing like a youth player left there. There's so many players there that you'd think, you'd probably swap them and you wouldn't notice a massive difference. Thinking of players like Tomiyasu, at home at least, and Nketiah, when Jesus has been playing. I know Havertz has had a lot of stick, but he's actually played all right. He played really well on Saturday against Newcastle. I can't think off the top of my head of the other players. Fabio Vieira I have concerns about. But then Tomiyasu, I think I've already mentioned Tomiyasu. That's a really loud alert on my computer. Ouch. Um, so it's already 8 o'clock, but we haven't started yet. But they're taking the minute silence as I can see it on my screen. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my. I'm just gonna leave it on there actually for now. Thinking about other Arsenal players who've been on our bench. Kivior's played pretty well. I can't really remember a time when Kivior's necessarily let us down. He played in the West Ham defeat, but it wasn't that bad. I thought he was pretty good. Yeah. But I think this Spurs team, the thing that I'm interested in is seeing players like Romero and Van de Ven play the ball out from the back. Because I've never really thought of Romero as the kind of player who's that great on the ball. He's serviceable, but he's not amazing. Van de Ven I've never seen play. So I'm interested to see how that happens. So if you are watching this for the first time and you're wondering, what does this guy do? At the moment, I am basically just doing watch-alongs for football matches, mainly Premier League and Champions League, and when it comes, the FA Cup later next year. But we're going to start with that, and we're just going to see how it goes. I definitely enjoy talking about football. I enjoy the tactical side of the football, and as much as I'm watching a game tonight between two teams who are absolutely arch rivals of Arsenal, it's still an interesting game from a tactical point of view because both managers are going to want to play quite attacking football, and I think this is going to be a really, really good game. And it reminds me a bit of Tottenham-Chelsea games gone by, where the teams have been they've just been at each other. I remember that Thomas Tuchel Conte game, and wow, that was intense. Right, we're almost ready to go. It is Tottenham v Chelsea at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and I'm going to quickly change the things when what might end up happening on the stream is that stuff might look a bit weird on the lineups, but I will change that when it gets to it. So Spurs going in with a high press almost instantly, and Chelsea clear it upfield. Probably the right thing to do for Chelsea right now. Calm the game. I say calm the game down. They've almost nicked the ball inside the penalty area. That's a high press. That's a very high press. That's really interesting. Okay. If they keep this high press up, Chelsea, I am concerned whether they can keep if they can keep it up, but also B. Here we go. Chelsea have won it back again. It's gone back to Sterling, who's just backflicked it into a Spurs player, and this is where Chelsea might struggle when they lose the ball, and on the count. Well, do you call it a counter attack? When Chelsea lose the ball close up, and that's a quick ball, and I don't know what that was, but I think the referee has said that shouldn't have been played. It's only been a minute, and already it's been like 2 or 3 things happen. As I said, Chelsea need to keep these fans quiet. If you can keep these fans quiet, build themselves into this game, don't lose a goal early on, every chance they could get a result. The amount of times Son is going to look for that run in behind, it's the most noticeable thing. I remember I watched someone do an analysis piece. That was an interesting tackle by Gallagher. Just slipped a bit, and Basuma and Udogi, who annoyingly have very similar haircuts, which is really frustrating to watch. Okay, it looks like the lineups have more or less stayed as they are. That's not stayed as it should be. Okay. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to leave it as is for now. And we'll see. We'll put the stats up later, I think, when the game has kind of progressed a bit. But yeah, the amount of balls in behind that Spurs will look for is probably the most of anyone, and I think it is it's a style of play that, I mean, if you imagine if Erling Haaland played for, oh goodness me, that ball in behind for the goalkeeper for Spurs is a bit interesting. That was Van de Ven that time. If Haaland was playing for this Spurs team, he would love it because players would look for the ball in behind so often. And Haaland, being pacey and strong, he would get in behind almost every time, and it's just about whether he could control the ball or not. I think Son isn't as good as Haaland, but his willingness to run is almost better than Haaland, because when you watch City, they don't really push for that ball in behind anywhere near as much as Spurs do. And exposing space. The one thing I would say is, if you want to beat Spurs, weirdly, I think the best way to do it is to play deep, because you deny them that opportunity to play the ball in behind. And I don't think they're that good at breaking teams down. Having said that, I'm pretty sure Crystal Palace tried the same thing and they were a bit done over. They should have probably at least scored in that game, let alone got a point or one. But what I heard of the game, I didn't watch that game, but what I heard of it, they were very good. That's a lovely ball into Maddison, but he comes out with the ball. Sterling, Chelsea trying to hunt the ball down, but they just give it away, but so do Spurs. And that's the kind of game this is going to be. Spurs get it back. Or rather, Chelsea give it away again. This is going to be a difficult game to comment on. Son is not on the side there, surely. He's offside. He's not offside, apparently. Let's have a look at this again. So they've got the ball in wide. And it's a ball in behind. He's off. He's off. Interesting though. It's really interesting how Son kind of pulls his run back to a point where he thinks he's behind the last defender and then just goes for it. That ball in behind isn't going to make it. That's gone out for a Spurs throw. This is the thing. If Spurs, and I think Spurs are, they're in a good position at the moment, because I don't think there's a lot of teams that can really play that ball in behind accurately and get in behind. I'm thinking Brentford are actually probably one of the teams that can do that really consistently. That's an interesting ball. Is it Vicario in goal for Spurs? Some of this playing out the back it's slightly concerning, although it's building this reward. Here we go. Kulusevski now on the right hand side, on his left foot. He's going to have a go. That's such a lucky goal. That is so lucky. Oh my days. What did I say? Hold the game. Keep it quiet. Don't be stupid. Oh dear. So they played the ball out from the back really well, Spurs, and then they got the ball into, I think it was Basuma. And then it's Levi Colwell. I did say this a while ago as well. Levi Colwell playing at left back. Don't know about that. I don't know about that. He's just so defensive. Look at that. He's backing off. He's almost on top of the other centre-back. He's almost on top of Silva when he gets... look at that. He's turned his back and it's gone off his back into the back of the net. What a shocking goal to concede for Chelsea. Absolutely shocking. He's got to try and engage the ball there, I think. A bit more. Because you've got to remember as well, it's not as if that was the only opportunity for a goal that they had, Spurs. They could have just played the ball in behind. Johnson's in behind here. That's nice, but Kulusevski's outside the penalty area when he gets it. They had so many chances to make a goal. Oh, goodness me, Gallagher. That's dodgy. Pedro Porro with a shot and well saves. Chelsea need to steady here. They're in trouble. They're in real trouble. There you go. That's what I thought might happen with the thing. So if we have a look at the stats, that's not it either. Okay, right. I'm going to just quickly switch this up. Give me a second. What's happened here? Chelsea are on the attack, but nothing's happening, so I'm just going to switch off from that. Oh. Don't know where the stats are then. Interesting. Why is that? No, there's no stats there. Right, so let's leave that for now, I think. Yeah. Weird. Well, I'm just going to stay off that one for now. We'll leave it on the table, I think. But Chelsea have somewhat capitulated in these first few minutes. So, the problem, I think, for Chelsea is, so they tried, the way that goal happened was Chelsea pressed from the front, but then Spurs played through them, found loads of space in the midfield, set up for Kulusevski, who then ended up going on and scoring. It was Basuma, I think, who played it on for Kulusevski. It's just not good defending from Chelsea. Really isn't. And I'm now concerned for Chelsea watching this. I'm concerned because if they allow Spurs to just keep playing those balls through the lines, again, Basuma's an amazing ball out to Johnson on the left-hand side. Nice ball out to Maddison. He's going to clip it in for the far post for Porro, which is kind of flicked in. Johnson challenges, but Chelsea get the ball back. But there's no way out. They need to play their way out here. Nope. This is the kind of football that I remember watching Arsenal play quite a lot last season, to be fair, as well, from Tottenham. And that's quite high praise. High press, really, really at it. And forcing Chelsea to give the ball away as they have done there. Spurs have it back again. A lot of the game is happening inside the Chelsea half. That's a nice ball. And Jackson could be in here. Oh no, he can't hold it up. And this is where I think Spurs are playing Man City in a few weeks' time, after the international break. Man City have got Liverpool, and I think they've got Spurs almost straight after. That is a really, really interesting game from a tactical point of view to see how Man City match up against that Spurs team. Because historically, Spurs have had the better of Man City by being defensive, by playing on the counter-attack, and limiting City's chances, and sometimes riding their luck quite a lot. This Spurs team aren't going to do that. They're going to go at City, and I do wonder whether that allows City the space to then just go and rip them apart. Or does it stop City from doing anything? Oh, goodness, that's a terrible touch. Sterling into Jackson. He's in on goal. He's got to score here. Jackson. What a save from Vicario. Tell you what, he did all right there, Jackson. People have a go at him for his finishing, but that was all right. If he just... I don't know what Romero's doing there. Romero just goes for the ball. It gets played around him. It's a great save from Vicario. Don't know if it's going on target, to be fair. But it is a good shot. If he just manages to get it a little bit further away from the goalkeeper, goalie can't save it. Or if he clips it over the goalkeeper, he can't save it. But a Chelsea response would be quite welcome right now. That's Disasi well wide. Chelsea player did go down there, but nothing doing. Well, what a start. Spurs trying to play it out from the back again. Have not really allowed me any moment to kind of just relax and calm down. Which has been difficult to keep up with, let's say. That's nice. Into Kulusevski. He's running. He's still... Oh, we could have gone and got a penalty there, you know. Vicario with the ball deep. That was nice from Romero, but I think it might... No, it doesn't go out of play. No. Johnson. Johnson plays it to Son. Is he offside? No. I think he's offside. Yeah. I was going to say, I think Son's run was just a little bit too soon. Just a little too soon. Let's have a look at this. So Johnson is just about onside. But I think Son's offside. Just. But it's really, really close. Really, really, really close. I'm just trying to find my library on YouTube. Yeah. Offside. How do I not go back? Oh, I don't even know, man. That's not helpful. Yeah. Offside. Guys, why are you taking so long to draw these lines, man? I'll tell you what, actually, here's one thing I want to talk about. Flipping, get back. Bring back stupid automated offside. Well, not bring back, but just bring in automated offsides, man. Look, it's offside. I despair sometimes. Absolutely despair. Absolutely despair. Because like they've got the technology. UEFA have been using the technology for a while now. And for some reason, they've just not used it. It's, yeah. Not happy. Not happy at all. But there you go. That is how it goes sometimes. Just trying to find a way to be able to watch my... or to find my YouTube stream of this. It's not allowing me to do it. Spurs playing the ball out from the back again. I might just set that up after half-time. Chelsea don't have an answer to Spurs on the ball right now. And that's probably the most concerning thing. There's such a threat going forward. And Johnson's going inside. Maddison now running wide. That's not quite good enough. There was Shane's there though. Again, this is a bit of a compliment, gotta say, for Spurs. Shades of Man City against United. The way that they had their winger come inside, cut inside, and then the centre midfielder went back out the other side. And it's not terribly complicated, but what it does is it brings their fullback out of position, which allows a space for the centre midfielder to make a run on the outside. And if that player is good enough, like Bernardo Silva is for City, they can then take that ball and manoeuvre a chance around the penalty area or whatever, like Bernardo Silva did twice for Haaland. That's a free kick for Spurs. Now this is also interesting. It's just playing for a free kick there. Compare this to the Newcastle Arsenal game. Goodness me, it's a different kind of game. Spurs are not interested in a physical battle. They want to just play the ball around this Chelsea team. And I do think that Pochettino has made a bit of a mistake trying to kind of play Chelsea, trying to play Spurs at their own game. I just don't think they're ready for that yet. They're nowhere near ready for that yet. Yes, they almost scored with Jackson, but what they should be doing, sitting back, deny them the space, hit him on the counter. They've got the players for it, Chelsea. They've got players like Jackson, who is, with all of his failings, he's fast. Sterling is fast. Mudryk, fast. I just don't understand it. Don't understand it at all. Johnson takes the corner for Spurs. That's flicked. That's bounced 3 times in the penalty area before anyone touched it. At this point, I mean, I'm calling it that Chelsea will be lucky not to lose this game like 3-4-0, the way it's going. Now, is that a doggy gets a... Ooh, he's been booked. I thought he got the ball there. It was fast, but he got the ball. What happened here? So Casino plays the ball to Sterling. Oh, okay. It's the way that he jumps in, and he jumps in with 2 feet. It's a block tackle. That is a bad. That is like. So we talked about Havertz yesterday, and I tell you what. Everything's off the floor there. If Sterling's feet are just an inch to the left, he gets caught and his legs are broken. That is, I tell you what, it's such a bad tackle, man. So we talk about Havertz. The thing with Havertz is he only goes in with 1 foot. His trailing foot then catches the defender. I think Spurs are lucky not to be down to 10 men there. But I think the fact that he wins the ball there is the reason why that doesn't end up becoming a red card. What I'm concerned about is, though, that should we be allowing challenges like that? Oh my days, what is he doing? What's Chelsea goalkeeper doing there? He's just played the ball out of play from his own penalty area. He shouldn't have been playing the ball in the first place, to be fair, but still. Sanchez is... Ugh. Might be one player that Chelsea are going to look for in terms of replacing going forward, because I don't really think Sanchez is the guy. But yeah, it does kind of beg the question: are you then allowing that kind of challenge to be regularly made in a Premier League game now? Because I remember the days when it wasn't that long ago, 5-6 years ago. If you made a challenge like that, it was instant red card. Forget a VAR; it's an instant red card. And I do wonder whether, because of the introduction of VAR, referees are now more willing to err on the side of caution and only give a yellow, because then they can be seen. Oh, nice touch from Poro there. Kulusevski with the nice touch as well, and that's a shoulder barge, but it's just strong. Played the ball in behind for Jackson. No, that's a really nice ball from Enzo Fernandez though. Sets Sterling away on the left-hand side. He's bounced it off the defender. He's still going, and he's scored! Now, he might be handball. There's a few things that might be wrong with this. Here we go again. It might be handball, and it might be a foul on the defender. I don't know. I think the defender just falls over. Romero's down. Colwell's down. But it's persistent play. I tell you what, the best bit about this goal is Fernandez's first time. Fernandez's ball into Sterling is just amazing. I hope Sterling's onside, because that would be criminal. Ooh, is that handball? Yeah. Hits his hand. That won't be a goal. Yeah. Because it's Chelsea's... Because it's Sterling's goal. Ooh. Did someone just kick a Spurs player kick out a Chelsea player there? Yeah, it's definitely handball, so it won't be a goal. Absolutely won't be a goal. No question. Um, yeah, it's handball. Now Romero could be sent off because he's kicked out at a player. I think he'd be lucky not to get away with that. Although the video pictures are a bit near. Okay, so he's fine. That's what happens here. He kicks again. It's like Beckham 98, man. I tell you what, there's a lot of things going Spurs' way right now. Gotta say. Yeah. I tell you what, I said it first. I said it first, and then the Sky Sports commentators have just said that exactly that. David Beckham 98. How is this still 1-0 Spurs and no one's been sent off? I don't know. But this is the thing that Spurs, they are risking this now. As Chelsea have proven now a couple of times they can get in behind this Spurs defence. That's finally given me a bit of hope for this, because up until now, I've not really had any hope for this Chelsea team. They've been so bad that I've been like, well, there's no chance they're not going to get back in this. But, yeah, you never know. Might be fine now. So, there we go. Fernandez takes the shot. That's well over. So I'll tell you what, actually, the person who should be most disappointed about that non-goal is Fernandez, because that ball in behind was amazing. It was really, really good. Oh. Referees this weekend have had an absolute shocker. I think it's fair to say that. Nice play from Palmer. Chelsea keep it. Still, Caicedo plays it in. Oh, there's a foul there for Chelsea. Okay, right, we've got a free kick. The referees this weekend have had an absolute shocker. Wolves, Arsenal, Newcastle, Man United. Now Spurs and Chelsea. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how bad it's gone for the referees this week. I don't think I remember a weekend where so many controversial things have happened in the same 3 days. 3 days? We didn't have a Friday night game, did we? No. It's Palmer over the free kick for Chelsea. It's going to click it in. That's flicked backwards. That was interesting. Oh my days. Oh, and Chelsea end up skying it. But there was a bit of a head-to-head contact, I think, in the box there. Yeah. Not sure what happened there. Chelsea are doing a lot better. This is another shot from Fernandez. Stop shooting from outside the box, man. Chelsea are much more in the ascendancy now. They're getting the ball, zipping it about. Spurs aren't able to get hold of the ball now. Yeah, there you go. 7 shots, 1 on target for Chelsea since the goal. None on target for Spurs. And I think Chelsea are starting to learn the game a bit. Oh my days. That's a really nice play. Sterling, no, that's not a foul. Caicedo to Palmer. Caicedo! What a goal! It's not a foul, is it? Have they just called it offside? They have. Oh. You can't believe it, man. What is up here? I'm so confused. Why is it offside? I thought all the Chelsea players were in front of the line of the defence here. Spurs players done really well to push up. Fair enough. Ah, I don't like that. No, not for me. Not for me. Not for me. I think is that even if he is stood offside, no, sorry, even if he is interfering with play, he's not. Um, yeah, even if he is stood offside. By the way, Romero's cropped someone else. Like, what happens here? That's a shocking challenge, man. It's Romero though. Like, what's the surprise here? No, I think he's onside here. I think Jackson's onside. It would be such a shame again. It's another good goal from Chelsea. He's definitely a relevant player because the ball goes straight through him. So there's no question that he interferes with play. It's just whether he's actually onside or not. But I think he's onside. They've just got to find the right point of contact, and I think his shoulder. It's basically up to his shoulder, like not his shoulder, his arm is the furthest point back, I think, and Jackson's backside is kind of level with that. This first half an hour, man. This reminds me a lot of the Arsenal game as well, to be fair. No, they've given it offside. Ugh, I don't understand that, man. Okay, well, it's very difficult with these lines. It's very difficult with these lines to know what's actually going on because the lines where we see them, they're done from one particular angle and fine. There's a penalty opportunity there because of this. Yes, he gets the ball, but man, he takes the player as well. Is that Fernandez? Fernandez on Enzo. Oh, sorry, not Romero on Fernandez. Enzo has been, I think, Chelsea's best player. I'm so disappointed for. I'm so disappointed for Caicedo, man. Caicedo and Fernandez. They both scored or got involved in great, great goals for Chelsea, and they've both been ruled out. Maybe rightly, but still, that's it's a high boot. Come on, man. It's a dangerous, yeah, it's a dangerous, dangerous challenge. And Romero is the kind of player who will sometimes on his day will get away with challenges like that and be the best defender on the pitch. But sometimes he'll put in a crazy challenge like that, and he will get set off and let the team down. I do wonder how Spurs will be able to hold on if Spurs give away a penalty here and Romero gets sent off. There's a good chance that might happen here. I think at the very least it's a penalty. I was just saying on the commentary that Curtis Jones gave away a penalty for Liverpool, which was much less severe than this. He's going through the play. He's going through the ball. Yes, he clears the ball, but he's making sure the ball gets ricocheted away. It's a red card, I think. Yeah, red card. Yeah, it's it's the right decision. And I think I would be crying out. So Romero should have been sent off earlier. Udogie should have been sent off earlier for a terrible, terrible challenge as well. And you can't allow these challenges to be happening in modern football now because players' legs are going to get broken. And I remember players like Eduardo, Eduardo, what's his name? Diaby, broken legs, broken shins because of challenges like that. And I think that's, again, I'm an Arsenal fan. You can think I'm biased all you want. But I'm still thinking, yes, you win the ball, but there's a way of winning the ball. And it's not that. Because if you're doing that every time, players are going to get injured and their career's ruined. And that's, I mean, shocking. Big moment for Chelsea, this. Massive. Penalty, red card, Romero. Eric Dyer's coming on for Spurs. One of the players I said Spurs would probably want to be getting rid of. And it's probably one of the best players, actually, so far for Spurs. Brennan Johnson's coming off. Which is interesting because I think he's been more effective than Kulusevski has been on the other side. But it does mean now that Spurs are probably going to play like a 4-2-3, and that's it. I think Chelsea, ever since I said Chelsea are looking so sloppy, they've turned up in this game, and they are. If they end up equalising here, they will deserve every little bit of it. Absolutely. They'll deserve every bit of it because they've been absolutely amazing. It is in. Oh my days! Vicario got so close. He got so close. He saved. He got a hand on it. Palmer scores, but Vicario got a hand on it, and it comes off the post, rolls across the line, and goes in. Cole Palmer, man. It's a good penalty. Like, it's not. I think if Vicario doesn't get a finger on it, it's going in the side netting, which you'd think normally is a great penalty. Tell you what, Vicario's so close. He does a brilliant job of getting across. And it's 1-1. And I've got to say they deserve it, Chelsea. They've been the better team for about 15-20 minutes now. And this is now game on. Chelsea could potentially start to dominate this game even more so than they have before. And this could be potentially the shock result of the weekend. I suppose Liverpool would be the one, wouldn't it? Tell you what, Spurs have got to be careful now. They've got 10 minutes before half time. Their heads will be all over the place. They need to calm down, because if they don't, they're going to end up with, like, never mind one player sent off. It'll be two at least. Jackson going towards the goalkeeper, Vicario. Ill discipline is exactly the kind of thing that Arsenal were accused of last year. That's a terrible challenge again. Pedro Porro has gone down with an injury, which is not what you want at this stage of the game, given you've just lost a man, you just made a substitution. If they make another one here, it'll be 2 out of 3 windows they've used. What's happened to Gallagher's socks? Just like cut away. Interesting. Has it just been kicked that much? Well, at least Porro's off the pitch. Spurs now down to 9 men. Is he back on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, he's not. It's such a whoa, what was that? Oh, okay, that was a thing. Someone is Jackson's offside? Yeah. Sorry, I've had an alert, I think, but I don't know what happened because I can't see. But thank you, whoever's done that. Doesn't say anything. Doesn't say anything. I don't know. Hey ho. There was a big... uh, alert, which went off. So Chelsea are in again here. I'll have to check that at half time what actually happened because I'm a little bit confused. There's nothing on my notifications. Nope. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, that's kind of put me off a little bit. That it's like a massive noise coming through my headphones, but nothing much happens. Sterling in again here. Tell you what, playing with it's brave by Spurs playing with such a high line with only 10 men, but I think it might be again basically what Chelsea were doing earlier and playing into Spurs' hands. Because look at the amount of numbers that Chelsea have now going forward. They're committing numbers forward because they know they can afford to, and I think Spurs have got no way of getting back in eventually. I think the manager's going to have to make an executive decision here and say, right, guys, back 1-1. We keep what we hold, whatever the phrase is. I'm not sure. I haven't got anything on my activity feed, which I'm confused about. There's nothing else turned up on there. I'm confused. Very confused. Surely Spurs aren't trying to play out from the back with this amount of pressure on them. No, they have cleared it upfield. This is what they need to do now. Because I don't think Spurs are getting through this Chelsea team now. Oh, Sarr's taking it off of them. Surely not. Maddison, well tackled by Fernandes. Sarr shot hits Fernandes, and it is on his arm, but it's not that great. I am so confused about what happened. I'm so confused about the massive noise that happened. And it was really loud as well, so my ears are now deafened. There you go. But credit to Chelsea, they're showing their quality here. They are absolutely. I might have gone a bit earlier saying that Chelsea just looked absolutely hopeless after about 20 minutes, but now they are really on it. Unless it's on that. Nope. Spurs have it now on the left-hand side with Son. Can you imagine if Spurs end up going on to score here? It's like what a bottle it would be from Chelsea. Maddison playing it. He almost gets it back, Maddison. But the thing is, Chelsea will have men back now, and I think they'll be content. Don't tell me that Maddison's injured. It's the worst news that Spurs could have right now. Maddison looks in genuine pain. He does look like something has hurt him. What happens here? He gets the ball. Nothing happens. No, he's not touched anyone. That is a bad moment, that, for Maddison. That's really, really bad. He stayed down. But the thing is, no one challenged him. So I think he's done something to his left ankle. And this is the kind of thing I was saying that could potentially derail Spurs this season. If they have a couple of injuries, are sending off. If they have anything like that, I think they're in trouble. I think they're in big trouble. Just checking if I've got like any substitutions or anything like that. Not substitutions, subscribers. I mean, doesn't look like I have. Very confusing. Oh. Hmm. Son's still complaining about the red card. I think it's a bit of a moot point now, Son. Bit of a moot point. There's no point in arguing about it. The thing is, Son will argue about it all day, all night. He's a very, very, very passionate footballer. Um, but Pochettino sat there. I think he will be very, very glad. Oh, Bale's there. Interesting. Gareth Bale. Is he still a footballer? Don't think he is. Pretty sure he retired. I might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure he's retired. Where? I don't know. It might have been ads, to be fair. I don't even know what that noise was. I'm still absolutely shocked. Not shocked. That's not the right word. It's 12. We're not looking at 12 minutes of added time, are we? We're going to be here till like midnight. That's a nice ball into Jackson. He's still... Oh, no. Not Van der Ven as well now. Van der Ven has just pulled up with a hamstring injury. And I tell you what, this reminds me of Arsenal going to Spurs and everything going wrong. And now they're going to have to make another change. They've just lost Romero to a red card, and Van der Ven is chasing Jackson through, and he just pulls up. He's just pulled up. Oh, man. That's bad. Credit to Chelsea. They got back in this game. But I tell you what, Spurs have had some rotten luck. This last few minutes, they've had some really... I shouldn't be laughing here, but that's how it is, I suppose. I did say at the start of the stream, I may not be entirely neutral in this game. But it looks like we've got Royale playing, so... Okay, I don't know who's playing where now. We've got Dyer, Royale, Pedro Porro... Hang on. I had the lineups up a minute ago. Porro, Van der Ven is going off, so it'll be Van der Ven, that'll be Udogie, Dyer, Porro, and now Emerson Royale. So my question is, who plays at centre-back? Porro? Or Udogie? And Udogie's already on a yellow, and a big yellow at that, as well. A big yellow. 12 minutes of added time. Goodness me. We are going to be here till gone past 10. Madison's got to go up as well. Spurs aren't going to have any subs left. They'll have made... Oh, so Royale's come on. Oh, okay. Højbjerg. So presumably Højbjerg's going to play at centre-back. And then Emerson Royale, I think, might play as a... I don't know. Wing-back? Wow. Well, you know what I said a while ago? What will happen to Spurs if they end up losing a few of their players and having one of these kind of games? What happens? Because I think with the 11 that they've put out for the last few weeks, they've been great. And they have done exactly what Postecoglou would have wanted to do. But now, like, what can they do? My days, this is... It's another ball in behind. Sterling's in. And there's Jackson, but a great tackle back there from Eric Dyer. And I tell you what, this is reminiscent of watching Aston Villa. Believe it or not. Aston Villa played a really, really high line against Nottingham Forest. But the problem was they just didn't have anyone to press the ball to support that high line. So every time Nottingham Forest got the ball in a deep or even midfield area, they could just look up, have time, and play a ball in behind. And that's exactly what happened just then with Chelsea, playing the ball in behind the Spurs back line. They can't. At some point, someone's going to have to sit back. And if Chelsea score again and make it 2-1, Spurs can't sit back at that point. It then becomes very difficult to deal with. That's an interesting ball, but that'll be Vicarious all day long. Looks like Vicario is... Well, Spurs are going to go for this. I, if I were a Spurs fan right now, I would be having kittens. I would be shivering in my boots because it's like this is the kind of performance, the kind of tactical performance I think that could potentially work out. I'm just trying to figure out who's playing where. To be fair, it looks like it's Udogie still at left back, Emerson Royale playing at centre back. Problem is they've all got the same haircut, so it is quite difficult to tell from a distance at least who's playing where. Nice play, Fernandez. This is the kind of look at Jackson playing. He's running in behind again. In behind. Chelsea should be carving this Spurs team apart, I think. Now. Looked like handball from Sterling, but never mind. Game plays on. Sterling. Oh, it's nice. He might get it through here. Oh, that's close. Play it wide. Still play it wide. Can do now. James is on it. That's a great ball in again, but Vicario palms it away. Tell you what, Reece James being back in this team has helped them no end. It gives them an outlet on the right-hand side as well. I'd expect James to come way more into this game and as an attacking force. Gallagher on the left-hand side now. This is one of those games as well. Chelsea have to take advantage of this. They have to. Look at the space that Cole Palmer's in. I can't believe it. The amount of space. This has got to be a goal at some point. What are Spurs doing, man? What are they doing? Palmer was stood between the fullback and the centre back with no one marking him within 5 yards. I've never seen defending like that before. Surely the fullback comes in further narrow. That's a good header out. Spurs might get away here. No, never mind. They just don't have the numbers. This reminds me a bit of Barcelona. That's offside, surely. Yeah, definitely. This reminds me a bit of Arsenal-Barcelona in the Champions League final, 2006. Arsenal go down to 10 men, give away a penalty on a free kick, which Barca don't score from. Score a goal early on, after that, and basically defend for the rest of the game, but eventually get broken down. I think this is the kind of game where that could go that way as well, because eventually Spurs will be forced to be pushed back, or Chelsea will score or force Tottenham to go down to 9 men. I think it'll be interesting to see at what point Postecoglou decides to. He's always caught him on the ball again there, Emerson Royale. So Emerson Royale playing at right back, I think. It is difficult to tell. That's a nice ball. Don't pull a hamstring. I'm looking at this team. It does look like Emerson Royale's playing as a right centre-back almost. No, Pedro Porro's playing at right back. Emerson Royale's playing at right centre-back. Dyer's at left centre-back, and then Udogie, I think, still at left back. I mean, surely something's got to give. I've never seen Emerson Royale play as centre back, and he's not really the best defender. He's not the best defender at the best of times at right back, let alone centre back. Porro. Oh, that's a penalty. That's a penalty, surely. No, he's gone down. Oh, okay. I think Michael Oliver knows that it's not a penalty because he sees that really close. Sterling, I think he takes the touch and then decides to go over. That should be a booking, man. What happened to booking for what happened to bookings for dives? Yeah. Gary Neville says it. What happened to bookings for dives, man? Shocking. Interesting touch from the doggy. Spurs will be absolutely desperate for the half-time whistle. Get them back in and try and organise that. What is this high line? They're 5 yards away from the halfway line. And Chelsea players just kind of sat there like, well, we're going to make a run at some point. Someone run from deep. Just like Gallagher, all you have to do is run from deep. Oh my days, Chelsea. Come on, man. How? What are you doing, Sanchez? Shocking. Careful. Still going, though. Basuma. Surely Spurs can't. No, it's gone out to Sarr. He likes a shot from outside the box. Pedro Porro tries to play out, but this is trouble now. They're underhanded at the very least. Jackson's going to go past his man. Well played. He keeps it back. There goes Enzo Fernandez playing it across to Colwell. You've got Palmer on the right. Palmer's caused a doggy a lot of problems. That's nice. Oh, I tell you what, he could have given away a penalty there as well. It was really close. Caicedo. It's another chance. Well played, Porro. No. Okay. Don't be stupid. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not really talking a lot here, but something's clearly happened here with Colwell, because I've never thought of him as being the kind of player to just completely lose it from an emotional point of view. So Pape Sarr gets booked, and Colwell will get booked as well. I don't know what else happened there. So Sarr goes out. Colwell, I think, what happens next? So Sarr pushes him away. They just push each other away. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. Colwell needs to be a bit more controlled than that. Remember, he's playing for England, potentially. You need to be staying calm in these high pressure games. We're into the 11th minute of injury time at the end of this first half. And I think, given how the second half of this first half has played out, I've got to say, no, it's not half time. It's not half time. Still 2 more minutes. Oh no! Surely not Reece James. Ooh, his elbow's gone right into his face. No red card. He's fine. He's lucky. He's very, very lucky. His arm goes up as he's challenging for the ball in the air, which, to be fair, you do need to be elevated with your arms. You need to lift your arms to be elevated. But he catches a doggy right in the face with his elbow. It's almost worse than the Bruno Guimaraes one on Saturday. This game, man. This game. This has got everything so far. It's exactly what I was expecting as well, to be fair. Son gets tackled. Don't give the ball away, Chelsea. Watch out for the press. Well played. Well played to Sassy. No, almost well played. Don't give it back to that goalkeeper. He'll just give it away. Like that. Sanchez is not in my good books right now. That's a lovely touch from Palmer. Well played. Really well played. Sanchez giving the ball away almost every time he's had the ball. Is that half time? It is. Goodness me. What a half of football. Surely now, Postecoglou brings his troops in and says, right, don't be stupid. We need to just step back about 10, 15 yards. Don't hold this stupidly high line that we were planning on doing at the start of the game. I think the fact that everything's gone so badly for Spurs, if they get a point out of this, it'd be amazing. Right. Half-time, 1-1. I don't know how it's only 1-1. It should be more than that, definitely. At least maybe 2-2, maybe 3-2 to Chelsea. But with it being 1-1, it means that Spurs will be still second. This table's not up to date. It's not an up-to-date table, but never mind. I'm going to quickly see if we've got these stats fixed yet. We haven't, have we? Because what are the stats? Oh, they're right. Okay, cool. I did a thing with that, didn't I? Let me just have a quick look at that. And I'm also going to check my alerts because I don't know if something has happened with that. There we go. No, that's not where we go. Just give me a second while I fix this. There you go. Right. Let me try and find this. I think what we need to do here is just change that. So do that. Make the height much more. So we're going to go like 4,000. Then we'll do this. That's much better. I say that, still can't see any. Still can't see any stats. So it needs to be bigger. Right. Still no stats. Where are the stats? Oh, they're not the other side, are they? Not typical. They're the other side of the. No, they're not. I don't even know then. There's no stats on the BBC Sport website. How weird. I would have thought it'd be on there. You know what? Oh, they're on there now. If you refresh it, it's on. Okay, right, fine. Let's see if I can interact with it. If I interact with this. Nope, apparently not. I have to do this. Yeah, thought so. I'll just pull you off for a second. Interact. There you go. Right. Oh my days. I can't interact with something that's that small. Hope you're enjoying the entertainment, guys. This is very difficult to deal with. Let's go down to like 2,000 again. Now we'll interact again. Don't think it's worth me doing this. Take off the filter, I think, because there you go, that's better. Right, interact. The thing is, I had some pretty good stats going, to be fair. There you go. Oh, that's what it was. Oh dear. I'm just going to have to refresh the page then, because that's not helpful. Refresh the cache. Nope. It's not the one. Do I have to change this up now? I don't know. That's frustrating. So I'll just remove this. Add it back in again. Browser. Stats. It's still not. It's just going me that. That's really not helpful. Okay, fine. We'll do it this way. That's. with that. Paste. Oh, not that though. Copy and paste. It's interesting actually looking at the stats. I could read them out. Not massively helpful. Nope, still not doing it. Yeah, still not doing it. That's frustrating. Probably because it got that's ruined. Never mind. Might just have to rename it or create a new one. Ugh, never mind. I'll remove that for now. I won't bother with the. In fact, what I might do, so what I'll do is I'll do browser, but then I'll do stats 2. Okay. This is better. So I'll do that. Copy you into there. Tech Genius. There you go. Right, we're back in business. Let's just. Yeah. Cancel. Interact with that. Oh, okay, yeah. We do that. Match stats. This is what we're after. Okay. Cool. There we go. Filters. We'll add a crop to that. This is only going to be a temporary solution because I don't think this will necessarily work. So bottom up there. But looking at the stats, which we're going to show you now, well, in a second. Let's see if I just fit to screen. There you go. So this is the stats within a really massive screen, which we're going to just have to organize like so. Let's put it next to my head. How about that? Don't like that. This isn't particularly easy because I've kind of designed everything. There you go. That'll have to do. I just had to put it up there. That's fine. I'll do that. There you go. Right. So Spurs and Chelsea. Very, very even on possession, but I think it would actually be really interesting to see what the overall kind of the field tilt. That's another word for that, but it basically means like where did the play happen in this game, and it definitely transformed a lot from the first 20 minutes or so, where the game happened sporadically in the Spurs half, but mostly in the Chelsea half, and Chelsea were just. They were trying to play out from the back and really struggling. Spurs scored and looked like they were all over Chelsea and they weren't able to do anything. But then a couple of things happened. Chelsea got in behind once, didn't score. But I think something happened elsewhere, which could have been. Oh, it was the other. Yeah, it was the red card opportunity, which didn't happen. But Sterling scored. That I think spooked Spurs a little bit. But now, at that point, Chelsea realised they could play their way through this Spurs team. And it's got to be said, I just don't think... I don't think Spurs recovered from that. And then a lot of things have happened since then. Maddison going off. Van der Ven going off. Obviously the penalty and the red card for Romero. A lot of things have gone in Chelsea's favour. If Chelsea don't go on and win this game now, I think it's a bit of a bottle. If I'm honest. It's a bit of a bottle because they haven't really, I don't think, before the penalty, definitely off the first kind of 10-15 minutes or so, they did not deserve to be winning the game. That's all. Whereas now, I'm thinking actually they probably do deserve to be winning the game. I think I'm going to take my headphones out now because I don't necessarily need to be hearing anything. Yeah, they don't deserve to be. They didn't deserve to be winning or even in the game really at that point. They were so Spurs were so dominant. They played their way through really nicely. But now, I think it's got to a point where Chelsea will be very disappointed if they don't come away with a win because they've been able to play through and the Spurs are playing this really high line which is just not working. I think it's allowing Chelsea yes, it's making the pitch smaller, but I think Chelsea, and it's interesting that he's decided to put Emerson Royale at centre back because it's almost like he's saying, right, we're going to play up high, and we're going to put someone who's really pacey. So if they play a ball in behind, then we'll catch them. The only problem I have with that is Eric Dyer because he is not fast at all. It's definitely not fast enough to deal with that kind of threat. So yeah, that's kind of how it's gone. I'm just checking my Twitch because I did get a bit of an alert earlier, but I'm not sure where from. I don't know how, but something popped up. Not sure what it was, and nothing happened on my YouTube either. I don't think. There should be a live. I should be able to do like a live dashboard or something. No, can't manage that. Weird. Content. Oh, this must be how I do it. Yeah, there we go. I do that. I've got that. If I go, I view the live control room. Here we go. This is what I was after. Right, so I've got that open then. So clearly not a lot has happened, although there's been people kind of watching, I think, sporadically. But there you go. I'm going to have to update a lot of stuff with the channel as well, just to kind of talk a little bit about the channel and what I see going forward. Tomorrow, just kind of covering this week. So tomorrow night, not even night, kind of early evening, Newcastle at Borussia Dortmund. And they are probably, well, I think, obviously, I think the biased Arsenal fan would say, oh, they need to be absolutely punished for what happened on Saturday. And to be fair, a lot of what happened on Saturday wasn't their fault. Yes, I think Guimaraes probably could have shown a bit more class in how he behaved on the pitch. But apart from that, like a lot of the problems was with the referees. It wasn't with Newcastle at all. So the problem, I wish them well in the Champions League, but I do kind of feel like inwardly, at least, there would be a little sense of justice if they ended up losing to Dortmund away. It's a huge game for Newcastle. They've got quite a few injuries I seem to remember, and they had a few more, like as Eddie Howe said on Saturday, every time they play, someone gets injured. I just don't see. But then again, Dortmund aren't exactly on the highest of confidence boosts at the moment. They absolutely didn't expect to beat Newcastle at St James's Park, but they did. Obviously, they won that game, and now it sets up a really interesting group. So that game tomorrow, I can't, as far as I know right now, I am not watching the Arsenal game because I'm out, unfortunately, which is a shame. So the Arsenal game on Wednesday against Sevilla at home. I would expect us to win. Sevilla are doing terribly in the league. But you never know. It's the Champions League. A lot of things happen that you don't expect them to. But I think we've dealt with the most difficult game in the group already, which is the away game at Sevilla. But looking at this, so they were just looking at the Chelsea some build-up play, and this might be the build-up play that leaves Van der Ven on the floor injured. But again, it's just quite a lot of running. But again, Spurs aren't quite quick enough to cover the passes. Sterling gets in behind again, and that's kind of what's caused quite a lot of the problems, I think, for Spurs. So talking about this channel, there's a lot of kind of graphical things that need to be updated. A lot of this channel was geared towards gaming before, and now I'm definitely want to take it in a kind of football watch-along point of view. Is that Cucurella? Cucurella coming on. Interesting. players coming out for the second half. I thought we'd have longer than that. Fair enough. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with all of that. I'm definitely looking forward to doing more of these, and hopefully we'll get some people along to watch with us. But I enjoy talking about football and kind of breaking up the game, talking about the tactics behind it. And I'm hoping in the future to get some kind of deeper tactics things available to show you guys on the stream as well. Speaking to the stream, I just want to check what I've actually got on there. I've got stats at the moment, which will hopefully update over time. But there we go. Well, that's not updated at all. What's happened there? I'll just go with that for now. So that's probably a bit too loud, actually. Chelsea playing in behind again. Jackson, but really well played by Vicario. I hope you Spurs fans have got a strong stomach, because this is going to be quite a nervous 45 minutes, I think, watching this. He's onside. Emerson Royale trying to play offside there and failing miserably. But I think we would have been told, Jackson, he would have been told, keep making those runs in behind. Be Son Heung-min and run in behind as much as you can, because you need to take advantage of this high line from Spurs. It looks like Spurs are still playing a 4 at the back. Don't think they've got much choice, to be fair, given the players they've got available. But Sterling making the run to make space for Cucurella on the left. Bringing on Cucurella, I think, is a really, really good idea, because he's very mobile. He has played quite well. And Levi Colwill had probably lost it a little bit from a emotional point of view, which is a shame. But I think from an attacking point of view, Cucurella's going to offer you way more to break this Spurs team down. And I think if this does come down to a coconut show, Palmer takes the shot well wide. If they make this into a coconut show and just make it end to end, I think Chelsea win it. No question. They don't have the better finishers, but I think the amount of chances they would get from a game like that, surely they would score enough to win the game. And if Chelsea do score the next goal, I think it'll throw the gauntlet down to Spurs to push with the ball, and that might be quite tricky for them. Cucurella chasing back there. This is the other thing as well. I think Cucurella's faster than Colwill, isn't he? I would be very surprised. Oh, there's a chance here. It's in behind again. Sterling. He's control it with his chest. Tried to get past Emerson Royale. And I think I don't know whose throw it is. I think it might be Spurs. Yeah. But as an Arsenal fan, obviously, what's happening right now is exactly what I would have wanted to happen. There's a chance for Sterling. Oh no, that's deflected out for a throw. It's absolutely what I would have wanted to happen, I think. The only thing I think we're missing is a Chelsea winner. So I wouldn't mind, given how far Chelsea are behind the rest of the the rest of the leading pack in the Premier League, I'm not particularly concerned about Chelsea eventually challenging for Champions League places this season. I don't think that's going to happen. Careful, Enzo. Careful. He's lost it. Tries to set up Son, but his pass isn't good enough. And now Chelsea are going to take advantage because they're in behind again. Well, not in behind, but Cucurella tries to play it in behind, and it's well blocked by Porro. This is the thing now. I think if Chelsea engage in this, they need to, because they do take the risk, of course, of potentially losing a chance. But I don't think Spurs have the players now that Maddison's gone, now that Brennan Johnson's gone. So that's not offside, is it? Oh my days. It's criminal from Cucurella, that. Absolutely criminal. I can't remember what we're saying now. They've got to have a they've got to have a go at making this a bit of a coconut show, because I think Chelsea can recover with players because they've got the extra man. Spurs can't. They've really looked at that point like they were really, really vulnerable. Well, given that I spilt ketchup on myself earlier and I bit my tongue earlier, given all of that happened, I'm actually doing all right, to be fair. Surprisingly, that's lovely. Lovely play from Palmer. Round, I think that might be Højbjerg. Yeah. Again, Palmer making it's the deep runs, man. Jackson's got a little dribble, giving it to Sterling. That's a great pass, that. Sterling into Cucurella. That's a bit wide. And that one will be not a corner because it's not gone out of play. Tell you what, Cucurella's not really impressed me so far, given the amount of opportunity he's had. Finally, Sanchez makes a pass. He's made a pass out from the back. Is that Cucurella on the left-hand side again? He's basically going to be a left wing-back from here on in, I think. Sterling has got a chance. That did deflect, but it's not a problem for Vicario. I think that's what Cucurella needs to do. I don't really think you need to worry about defending too much because Chelsea centre-backs should have everything that goes at them now. Tell you what, Spurs really living life on the edge there. That's an interesting ball. It's gone straight to Gallagher. You could have left it for Sterling, but now Gallagher's going to have to come back. And that's a terrible challenge from... Is that Basuma? It is. That's a terrible challenge. That's really not good at all. Why has Gallagher got just gaps in his shoes, in his socks, in the back of his socks? It's very strange. I do wonder why he's done that. Reece James over this one. Gallagher is talking about it, but I don't think he's going to take it. I think he's just talking about it to consult. James will whip it in with his right foot, in swinging towards the goal. That's nice, but no one's there. Don't know what happened there. Disasi, I think, was going to go for it, but then he got stopped. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. It's a nice ball. Looked like he was fouled off the ball there. This is extremely brave from Tottenham. They might profit from it as well. Look at this. Kulusevski playing it in behind for Son. He might get there. Nope. This should be straightforward for Thiago Silva. And James, careful. Don't be stupid. Well played. It's another foul. Kulusevski this time. Kicking the ball away as well. Careful. It's definitely the way I think that Spurs would want to play, yes. Is it the right thing to do? As long as they're drawing, it is. But I think that's the problem, as long as they're drawing. The minute they go down to 2-1, I think this game changes. Look at the runs they've got in behind. They're in again here. Sterling. This is simple, right? Surely. No, he's messed it up. He's messed it up. He's messed it up. Oh, I thought the ball... No, that's not a foul, apparently. I'm surprised at that. Højbjerg. Kulusevski. They've got 4 on 5 here of Spurs. Kulusevski. Back to Højbjerg. Kulusevski, nice 1-2 with Højbjerg. Surely not. Surely not. He's still going. Don't give away a penalty. Basuma, that's nice. Basuma is just kind of toe poked straight into the Chelsea defenders. Here goes Sterling. He's going to be away here. Oh dear. 3-on-2. This is a great, great, great chance for Chelsea. Massive. No, that's the wrong ball. That's the wrong ball. No, that's a terrible challenge. Because Udogi's already on a booking. He's going to go. He's going to go. Udogi is going to go. He's on a yellow card already. He's gone. And this is the thing, right? So now Spurs are down to 9 men. Spurs have played this really, and yes, it's all credit to them, fine. But I think a clever manager battens down the hatches and takes a point. They don't go for it because you're just going to give the game away. And well, that's not true, no. But what you're going to do is you're going to end up making a situation where the line of error, the margin for error is so thin. And unfortunately, Udogie's just gone over it. Second red card for Tottenham. I mean, never mind this game. If they've got an 11 who's going to play next game, they're in trouble now. I don't think he can make any other changes, can he? 35 minutes with 9 men. If Chelsea don't win this, I mean, I despair. It doesn't actually show. It's a 10 for 10 fouls. There's a ball in behind. Now it's a goal, surely. Offside? I don't know how he's missed that, Jackson. Oh, what a save. I think it's offside. I think he gave offside because Jackson was... but I don't know how. Like, Jackson has so much time. He could just chest it. He could chest it and score. He could volley it. But he decides to head it. It hits the floor, bounces up off the Højbjerg. Okay, no, it wasn't offside. The referee had his hand up as if it was offside. Now they're not playing a high line. Oh, they are playing a high line. What is this? What is this game? No, you're offside. Oh, no, you're not now. Oh, my days. Is Fernandes down? Because that's concerning for Chelsea. Mudrik's coming on. That sounds like a good idea at this stage, given how few men that Spurs have. Down to 9 men. Here's a question. Has anyone ever won a Premier League game with just 9 men? I'm going to search this up. Premier League wins with 9 men. Has it ever happened? Or 2 red cards. Maybe I should put 2 red cards. Premier League wins with 2 red cards. Has a Premier League team ever won with 2 red cards? That's Portugal. They're not a Premier League team. Offside. Jackson's onside. Another good save. And again. Now he's offside. Yeah. Everton. Wait, hang on. Oh, okay, no, yeah. So Everton had 2 men sent off and they almost beat Brentford, but they lost. I'm trying to find... I don't think it's ever happened. Well, there you go. I'm sure I've seen, like... I think I've seen Chelsea games... weirdly, Chelsea games in days gone by where they have actually... yeah, it's if they... What time are we on? 9:30. Goodness me. Yeah, it's just so... I've got a lot of commentary going on my ears as well, to be fair, so it's difficult for me to keep up. But it's so rare for a team to go down to 9 men and to actually get anything from a game in the Premier League. But 2 red cards. Chelsea will never live this down if they don't win. Just putting that out there. They will never, ever, 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 ever live this down. That's easy. He's in on goal. Vicario's ready for that ball in. And if they just took a little bit off that ball in, it would have been easy for Sterling to get around the goalkeeper and score. This is such a strange game to see. It's so strange. Mudryk on the left-hand side. It's a really, really weird game. I don't think I'm just so not used to watching like 11 against 9. It doesn't happen very often. Reece James just wide. Could have been handballed as well, to be fair. I think he does control it with his arm, you know. Yeah, he does. Yeah. Now, who's making changes now? Spurs. 2 more Tottenham changes. That'll be it. Bentancur and Skip. 2 more midfielders. That sounds like a good move. Don't know who's coming off, though. There's not many left. Kulusevski's come off. Got smiles on their faces. And Pepe Sarr. No, I was saying Pat Mete Sarr or something like that. I think I don't know. Sarr. That'll do. Half an hour left, plus injury time, which I would guess would be quite a lot. Chelsea, the closer it gets to full time, will be more and more nervous. They will be more and more nervous about not winning this game, because they absolutely should be. There's a lot of people talk about playing against 10 men is sometimes more difficult. The reason for that is usually that teams usually... that's really well played by Basuma, that is. That's really, really well played. I don't know how he's managed to get a free kick for that. That's brilliant. But yeah, there's usually when people talk about playing against 10 men, they say it's difficult because teams sit back with 10 men and they neutralise the game. And that almost doesn't feel like a team has 10 men, really. There goes Son. And Sanchez cleverly loves it up for a goal kick. But the thing is, Spurs didn't do that. They still played attacking football and really pressed. I've got to say, now they're under 9 men. Even if you sat back with 9 men, you get outnumbered everywhere on the pitch. So I don't think Spurs can be blamed for losing this game now. I think this is... Oh my days. What is that from Reece James? Shocking. It doesn't even need to be a good ball there. It doesn't need to be a good ball. And the fact that Spurs are finding it possible to actually play through this Chelsea team is an absolute disgrace, I think, from Chelsea. It's just... I might be being a bit harsh, but like surely... It's like Chelsea have turned up now and they're thinking, right, it doesn't matter what we do here, we're winning. Ball in behind again. Here goes Sterling. Nope. But it's wow. Only 3 players who kicked off this game for Tottenham, outfield players, are still on the pitch. The rest of them have either gotten injured, sent off, or substituted. Must be some kind of record, that. There's probably be in a pub quiz. That's not good enough for Mudryk there. What are you doing, Mudryk? What are you doing? That's not... I don't think giving the ball wide to Mudryk and allowing him to play playmaker is not it. That's not how Chelsea are going to win this game. They need to give it to Enzo Fernandez, to Gallagher, to Palmer, and then have players like Sterling, Mudryk, and Jackson running behind. Simple game plan. Simple. You'd have thought so anyway. There goes Mudryk. That was nice. He's in now. Again, Vicario is just on it. He's playing quarterback for Spurs. This is incredible to watch. This really is. I don't know how. Eventually, surely they're going to get one of these right. They're going to get one of these right, surely. I think Spurs are starting to tire as well, to be fair. There's a lot of players. There's an overlap, which is going to happen when you've only got 9 men. Just keep playing it wide. Keep playing it wide. Keep playing it wide. Keep playing it wide. Gallagher, got to be careful you don't lose it, of course. Chelsea very committed. This has got to be a goal, though. Oh, another good block again from Højbjerg. I tell you what, I ripped apart Højbjerg when he came on. I was like, he's not going to be a Spurs player in a few months' time. He's played really well. He has played really, really well. But it feels like Chelsea have got the message now. They're starting to just keep the ball, rotate it around the penalty area. Spurs have retreated, finally. It's only taken them 2 red cards and a few substitutions. Cucurella wide to Mudryk. Don't really rely on him to make a good ball in. Yep, he's just kicks it out. Don't understand what it is with Mudryk, but why? Now, when he came on, I was like, yes, perfect. Place him behind, brilliant. But now, you almost want Sterling to go out to that part of the pitch and take Mudryk off, because I don't think he's actually any use now. If Spurs are going to sit back and allow Chelsea to have the ball like that, then crazy. 5 minutes down, 25 more to go, plus injury time. I would imagine Arsenal would rip this Spurs team apart right now. Actually quite a lot of teams would rip this Spurs team apart right now. Look at this high line. You can't do this. Surely. I would love to see... the camera won't show this. He's offside. Mudryk's offside. Yeah. I'd love to see where Vicario's starting position was. Because he's got... I think he's starting kind of on the D of the penalty area. So if the ball goes in behind and it's central, it's likely that Vicario is going to get there first. Which is a really interesting kind of change up of tactics from Tottenham. Given the position that they're in, it's obviously never. I don't think it's been heard of, the team being this cavalier with 9 men. But then this ground has seen some pretty crazy stuff. Oh, that's nice. Palmer tried it. Palmer's doing the right thing. Run across the line. Here we go. There's a run from deep. Finally, it's Cucurella. Cucurella. How has he not scored? Oh my goodness me. I think the problem is that Chelsea have got players in the positions like this. He's onside here. Palmer. Chelsea have got players in positions, scoring positions, who aren't really used to being in those scoring positions. That's a terrible ball, that. And he's offside as well. Like, what is this? What is this from Chelsea? Vicario's not injured, is he? Bear in mind, I think Spurs have used all their subs now, so if they do get another injury, that's a brilliant run by Cucurella, to be fair. It's runs from deep that are going to break this Spurs line down now. Because they can't... He just needed to pass that across to Sterling, man. If you pass that across to Sterling, he's in and he scores. That touch was just a bit too firm. That was really, really good. Does take it in the face. Does take it in the face. And that's probably why he's down taking treatment right now. What a game. I still don't have any... Yeah, that massive noise that happened earlier, I still don't understand what happened. Very weird. Very, very strange. I think Vicario's fine. He will probably be fine. Concussion protocol or not, I can't see him saying he wants to come off. is saying he's fine. Yeah, I'm not surprised, because even if he did have concussion, I think it's sad to say, but I just don't think he would come off. I don't trust the club doctors of any club. I don't trust any of them to actually kind of bring players up and say, no, he's got a concussion, he has to come off. I don't. Premier League's too competitive. So they need to have a third-party doctor who goes to Premier League grounds for that. Whether they can even afford that kind of thing, I'm not sure. But I'm surprised that's a Spurs throw, but there you go. 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left. Surely Spurs can't hold on to a point and stay unbeaten despite being down to 9 men for 35 minutes. That's an interesting ball. Sanchez, but that's nice. Very calmly played out by Sanchez. Somewhat opposite to before. That's a foul on Mudryk. Exactly the kind of thing Spurs need to do now. They're starting to play this a bit more savvy than they did earlier in the game. Getting the ball. That's too far. Gallagher's just booted it out for the other side of the pitch for no apparent reason. Just keep the ball, guys. They were doing really well when they were circling it around the penalty area. That's the best bit of possession that they had all game, about 5-10 minutes ago. Chelsea seem to have forgotten to do that. They need to get Spurs penned into their own box. And you imagine like a Man City team playing against this Spurs team, they would absolutely maul this lot. They would maul them because they'd just keep the ball around the penalty area, get it wide, play into Haaland and score. Admittedly, Chelsea don't have a Haaland, but they'd still, they could at least try that. Man, there's been quite a lot to say about this game. Mudryk running down the left-hand side is just giving the ball away to Porro and fouled him. Mudryk has been awful since he's come on. He has been awful. If there's a candidate for a player to get sent off for Chelsea, it's Mudryk right now, because he's just... If I were Pochettino, I would... I mean, who have they got on their bench still? Who have they got left? Let me just go and check their lineups. I don't think I've got that right, have I? Gusto. He'd be better. Madueke. Bring him off for Madueke. Look at that Spurs bench, by the way. Look at that Spurs team. It's decimated. Sub. What's happened there? I think Spurs Son's just gone down, but nothing doing. Yeah, sub. Sent off, sent off. Crazy. These last 20 minutes are going to be pain for these Spurs players. Absolute pain. Careful. Oh, he has lost it. And Son is the only outlet, and Porro's... Oh, okay. Porro's gone down. Referee's got to keep on top of this. Looks like it's starting to boil over again. That's... I don't know about that. I don't think that's a free kick. I think he's gotten away with that, Porro. Bentancur tries to play it into Son. It's intercepted by 4 Chelsea players. That kind of tells you the story of the game now. Every time Spurs are attacking, it's like... It's an what's the word? It's an overload in Chelsea's favour. Everywhere on the pitch. Not a good enough ball, that. Though when Chelsea attack, it's an overload for them on that side of the pitch as well, obviously. But they're not taking advantage of these at all. And it's a shame as well, because I think Caicedo was on the ball then. He scored an amazing goal earlier, and it didn't count, which is a real shame. It runs from deep. Mudryk, I'm saying Madueke now, like he needs to come on. He does need to come on, I think. Mudryk is standing there, but not making any runs. He's offside. Sterling's in. Jackson scores, but he's offside. Right? I'm calling this. I think it's 2-1, but it looks like it's 2-1. It's an open goal for Jackson. They got it right, I think. But I'm pretty sure the ball, I think he was offside. Now, is Sterling onside here? That's the thing. He's just about onside. I think he's fine, yeah. I think he's alright. And guess who it is who's not tracking him? Emerson Royale. What a surprise. Not a surprise at all. I just realised I can change my camera stuff, actually. I just realised that. So if I do portrait and centre stage, ooh, that works. I like that. That might have changed things a little bit for let's see. What does that look like on your side? Oh, it's horrible. Hang on. Well played, Chelsea. They're 2-1 up, and they should go on to win the game now, I would expect. What is it that's... Is it the studio light that's ruined that? Nope. I think it's because I'm using... No, he's not offside, is he? Surely. Surely not. Have I gone too early on this? Yeah, he's onside. There you go. Oh, goodness me. If I turn off centre stage, does the picture become a lot better? Yeah, it does. There you go. Cool. Well played, Chelsea. They finally got the goal, and that should probably be it. That should be it. That absolutely should be it. So Nicholas Jackson can score from 10 yards out with an open goal. We know that much. But it's got to be said now. So is this gusto coming on now for Chelsea? So what's going to happen now then? Are Spurs going to go for this and risk going 3-4-5-1 down? They might as well. Nothing to lose at this point. But James is having a chat with Mudryk as he goes up, and I think he's complaining. He has only just come back from injury. I'm not surprised he's coming off, to be fair, but Malo Gusto is a good option to have. But I also think Reece James could be quite relieved, as Gary Neville says. He could be very relieved because he could have been sent off quite easily. Massive result for City. Let's not forget this as well. From City's point of view, they're top of the league. And as it stands now, looking at the league table, Spurs will be on 26 points, Liverpool 24, Arsenal 24, Man City 27. Competitive Premier League. Assuming that this stays as it is, obviously, because you never know, Chelsea might throw away a goal and lose and draw the game. Would be absolutely crazy. Surely not. No way. Is he offside? He's offside. He's offside. Yeah. I thought so, because I was like, Eric Dyer's just scored for Spurs. I think the flick on is the reason why he's offside here. Let's have a look. He's definitely offside because the Spurs player flicks it on, and I think the referee... That's an amazing finish by Dyer, got to say. Off his right foot as well. Fantastic. He does get a touch. Yeah. It's an amazing touch. But can you imagine if Chelsea were... if they would somehow lose it from here? Not with this game, from here. I just can't believe it, man. It's just... Oh, gosh. It looks like it's offside. Why are you checking the lines? Yeah. There's no... Now, if you're going to say that the technology can't rule out the Newcastle goal against Arsenal, the technology can't rule out this. Or it can't go against the on-field decision because you can't tell whether it comes off. Oh. What? Surely not. That's ridiculous, man. If this is actually given as a goal. It's one of these things which, like, it looks to the naked eye, it looks offside. If you look at these pictures, it looks offside. He spends so long kind of almost doing geometry on the thing. This is where you need the automatic offsides, because that will save you so much time. Gusto does look like it's quite close with Dyer, but Dyer's momentum is going towards the goal. And that's the thing. Is he offside? We don't know. Nothing's happened. Yeah, he's offside. Thank you. Sorry, I'm clapping in the mic. That's actually not a very clever idea. It's just stupid. Get these semi-automated offsides into the game, man. Get them in the game. You'll watch the Champions League games tomorrow and Wednesday, and I don't know if it's in the Europa League, but like this is now like it will have naturally made Chelsea quite nervous, I think. Well played, Thiago Silva. I think. Yeah, Thiago Silva. It's crazy to me that they haven't got automated offsides in the Premier League yet, because I think it is, at the very least, it will save time. Go on, Sterling. So this is the right way to do it, man. You just dribble past the players. That's another foul for Sterling. But it'll at least shorten the time for calls like that, because that took about 2 minutes to draw lines where the referee would have had an instant reaction from the from the automated offside decision. What is he doing there? I think that's Eric. Was that Eric Dyer shooting from his own half from a free kick? Bit of a waste. They need to go back and trying to play through this Chelsea team. Cucurella tries to play it through. Caicedo's got to be careful, but plays it through very nicely. This is where Spurs will be open now. There's so much space in behind. The game is being played over like a very, very small part of the pitch, and they're just keeping it. Chelsea being very, very clever here. Drawing Spurs out, trying to get the space. I think they'll... There we go. Mudryk can run at a player now. Can you please do something useful? No. Now, Mudryk looks like he's been fouled, apparently. But get up! You big Ukrainian. Fine. Ah, dear. Here we go. Lovely ball out to Sterling on the right-hand side. He definitely could have played him in there. I don't know why he didn't. I suppose a bit of this is about just running the clock down. But surely if you get the third goal, that's just game, set, match, right? And this, to be fair, we've been here before. I don't know if you remember, Stamford Bridge a couple of weeks ago, Chelsea were 2-0 up against Arsenal. And then they gave the ball away. The goalkeeper gives the ball away. And the goalkeeper gives the ball away to Declan Rice, and the rest is history. They end up drawing the game. They should have won the game. Hopefully that's not what's going to happen here. Should be back to the goalkeeper, who's hoofs it out for some reason. This has been every bit the game that I thought it would be as well. Absolutely every bit. Obviously, next weekend we've got Chelsea Man City. After this result, I still think Man City will win. And to be fair, they should be winning the league. Man City this season should be winning the league at a canter. That should be a foul. Yep. Yeah, City should be winning the league at a canter, given how good their squad is and how much better they are than everyone else right now. I think even Arsenal and Liverpool aren't good enough to challenge them. I think Arsenal are not... They're not firing going forward enough. And unless they change that, And if they get through this first half of the season and are still close to City, I might change my mind. But how we're playing, I just don't see how Arsenal are going to be able to get enough wins to stick close to City. They're already 4 points behind City? I think it's 4. 3. Only 3 behind City, but that was after the defeat to Newcastle. I just think if we get to Christmas and we're still within 3 points of City, fair play, we've done really well, but I just don't see that happening. Spurs are just playing this around the box now, and they don't have... The thing is, Chelsea have so many... They're able to... Oh, well, I was saying that. Gusto's just given away a stupid free kick. And has he got a yellow card as well? He's just kicked at Emerson Royale's back of his legs. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. I don't know why he does that, because they've got so many overloads in every position, Chelsea. There's no way Spurs are getting through there. And they've given them a set-piece opportunity now. They could put the ball in, and this is how they scored. Remember? Well, they didn't score, but they scored the offside goal. They've got to watch for that back post, because they're going to try the same thing again. They're going to try the flick on, and then knock in at the back post. And again, same thing. My days, how have they not scored? Bentancur. Oh my goodness. It does come at him really, really quickly, but the ball's put in. It's missed by Dyer, and Bentancur's completely free in the middle. No one near him, but because the ball's not quite up at his head height, he ends up hitting it down into the floor, and it goes wide. And he always runs into the post, to be fair. This is why Chelsea cannot afford... They could play in. They're in on the right-hand side there. They're in. Nope, they don't. They're not interested. Not interested. This is so risky, man. I'd rather the hurdy-gurdy football for Chelsea, because they will be able to pick apart. There you go. He's in. Get it into the box. For Jackson. Oh, that's well played by Porro, but I don't think he needed to. I think the goalkeeper had it. If he plays the ball in early there, Jackson's completely free. Yes, he's not a reliable striker, but I think you've got to give him the chances to score. And Gusto just didn't want to do that. I'm a bit surprised, to be fair. I'm seeing headlines of Spurs imploding. I know I'm an Arsenal fan, and I know I didn't want Spurs to win, but I don't think you can call this imploding. Yes, they've made some pretty disastrous errors in this game. Oh, Sterling, you can't be doing that. You should have played the ball. They have made some disastrous errors, but I wouldn't call it... It's not like... Not bottled it. I think they've just made some... I think, if anything, I think Romero is the one who's lost Spurs this game. Because I think at 11v11, this game that's a foul. Okay, Chelsea still have the ball. 11v11, this is a very even game. But because Romero puts that challenge in to give away the penalty, here goes Mudryk, but the goalkeeper's going to get that first. Oh, I say that. Goodness me, he's gone in late. He's going to go. I would not be surprised if Mudryk gets sent off here. He's going to get at least booked. That tackle, he's desperate to go for the ball. Vicario is hurt, although I feel like he's probably just waiting it. The minute this gets close to Vicario, I'm like, okay, either Vicario, and then catches up. Mudryk catches up with him, and his challenge. I want to see a close-up of this, man. What happens here? It's not as bad as Vicario's making out. He does kick him. Yeah, he kicks him, but because he doesn't go in with his studs, he's fine. He only gets a yellow. And that's fine. I think it's pretty crazy that... and he has been kicked in the knee. It does actually look in some pain. So maybe I'll have to retract what I was saying earlier. Interesting. Another sub for Chelsea. Is this Mo? Who is this coming on? Don't even know. Don't know. Who is on the... Oh, I don't have enough information on that, do I? Hang on. Let me just check. Where is the Chelsea bench? Is it No, it's not Martin. I don't know. D'Souza? Don't know who this is. Badiashile? Madueke? Badawi. 9 minutes of injury time. Goodness me. Oh, Ogachuk. That one. I don't understand that one. Ogachukwu. Cool. He's come on for Sterling. Presumably an attacking threat. I actually don't know where he plays. So flick through, but well dealt with by Chelsea, and Jackson will be looking to get the ball in, but he just walks offside for some reason. Oh dear. Sanchez with the ball is just going to hoof it. Because, that's exactly what Chelsea need right now. That's Palmer pretty cynically pushing the Spurs player down. I think that was Emerson Royale. He didn't really fancy the aerial challenge, just pushed him down. But Chelsea are not helping themselves here. Some decisions for this Chelsea team. That's a nice one. That's surely not to the back post again. They want dead ball situations as much as possible. They do. But I don't think they're going to get them. Oh. But if Chelsea if they had anything about them in terms of controlling this game, they wouldn't give Spurs those opportunities. So they're just going to go long now. That's a long ball put forward. This is more like the kind of football that I would have expected of Spurs from years gone by. That's an interesting ball back. Gusto blocks it, but I don't think it's handball. It definitely goes off his thigh. Definitely can't afford to give Spurs any more opportunities here, because you just get the feeling, given how close they've been already, they absolutely could. They've got there's a foul by Porro. Well played by Cucurella. For the first time, he's actually won that duel today. Cucurella has actually, given the amount of space that's happened on that left-hand side, has been pretty poor. But it's very, very difficult to judge exactly this Chelsea performance, given the fact that Spurs have had 2 red cards. Oh my goodness me. Here goes Son. Here goes Son. Here goes Son. Good save by Sanchez. It was a horrible giveaway by Caicedo in the midfield. And Son, I tell you what, he's not far off. If he gets that a little bit further away from the goalkeeper, he scores. There we go. He's in. Gallagher. This has got to be a goal, surely. There we go. Finally, Jackson scores. Again. It's been coming. It's been coming for a while. The amount of times that Chelsea have gone in and in and in and in and in and in and in. Yeah. I think this high line has cost Spurs the entire game. I think it's cost Spurs the entire game. It didn't cause the penalty, I don't think, but it's caused a lot of problems for Spurs. And this kind of... it's just easy. A run from deep has been all that it's needed. for Spurs to be undone. But the minute they go one man down, Spurs should change their tactic massively, sit back, don't allow Chelsea any space behind, give them the ball, and then play on the counter. Because they've been so good at doing that with 9 men. Can you imagine how good they would have been with 10? So there you go. I feel like I'm ranting now at Spurs' inadequacies. But then what did you expect? There goes the last unbeaten record of the Premier League this season. And we will have one more year of the Arsenal being the only team to have gone invincible in a Premier League season. The last time that we get to say that. Well, not the last time, but it's the last record to go for this season. Well played, Spurs. They've made this a spectacle at the very least. But I do think they've kind of written the script, bought the actors, bought in the cameras and all the lights, and paid for the entire production, only for them to lose and not get paid anything. There you go. Well played, Chelsea, though. Take advantage of it. Nicholas Jackson scoring twice. Okechukwu has been booked for some reason. It's a free kick for Spurs, quite central. Podro's going to have a go, I think. No, he's not. He's going to link it in. And Dyer. It's offside there. You know what this reminds me of, actually? This reminds me of Man United recently. When things aren't going very well, they'll just lump it in the box and hope for the best. And all this talk about Postecoglou ball, for all that talk, this shows even when things are at their most dire, even when things are at their most dire, even a manager like Postecoglou has to change their tactics. They might get a lot of plaudits for the way they've bravely gone at it. But at the end of the day, this is a competitive football match. And you don't get prizes for losing. It's in again. Jackson's on a hat-trick. He's run from deep. Emerson Royale is just... Oh, that's so cute. It's so cute. It's so easy. It's 3 for Jackson. But if you watch the way that happens, it's a ball that comes from so deep. Jackson doesn't even think it's coming through to him until quite late. 4-1. 4-1. And this is kind of what I was saying a while ago. I think it was about 10 minutes ago. I was like, if they keep doing this, they're going to end up... It was always going to happen eventually. But, yeah. This reminds me a little bit of when Arsenal went to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium a couple of years ago with needing to get a point to finish in the top 4, and we lost, and everything went wrong for us. I think Holding got sent off, and we had a couple of injuries, and they won 3-0. And this kind of feels a lot like that for Spurs as well. Shocking. Don't do the Ronaldo celebration. Oh my days. If I were him, I'd be a little embarrassed. Yes, you scored 3 goals. You scored a hat-trick for Chelsea, but it's kind of akin of doing that in under-21 football, given how the situation that Spurs have. They haven't necessarily made it very difficult for Chelsea to play through them. The only reason Chelsea haven't scored more is that they haven't... here we go, Mudryk. Is he going to roast him? That's nice. Oh, Jackson still can't finish. That should have been 5. Should have been 5. That goal difference is taking a battering. That goal difference is taking an absolute battering. It'll be down to 10 now for Spurs, which is 4 less than Liverpool and Arsenal. Absolutely crazy. "99 minutes, that should be full time." There you go. It is full time. And it is Spurs 1, Chelsea 4. What a ridiculous, ridiculous game. I'm looking forward to seeing this Spurs team go to Stamford Bridge because I think that'll be a really good game, and hopefully Spurs won't do themselves in and get 2 players sent off. But it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward now for this Chelsea team, not Chelsea team, for this Spurs team, because they've not they've lost a lot of players. If we just go through the lineups again, let's have a look here. They've lost Romero, Udogie. Romero will be probably a 3-game ban at least. Udogie, Van der Ven, all out for the next game against Wolves away. Maddison potentially out for the next game next weekend. And apart from that, that's kind of it. But I tell you what a horrible night for Spurs. And great night for Chelsea. Fantastic. I'm going to head off. Thank you very much for watching, everyone who has watched. As I say, we'll be back tomorrow with another watch-along, watching Newcastle play Borussia Dortmund in Germany. Assuming that everything happens tomorrow as I would expect it to. I don't actually know exactly what's happening. There's a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, so I may not stream tomorrow, but I hope I will. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you. Well, actually, will I? Because what I want to do is look at the stats first. Actually, is it even worth it looking at the stats at this point before we finish? The game's just so skewed. Look at the possession. It's like 61%, but a lot of that would have happened after the red cards, and the game was just so skewed at that point. So I just don't think it's really. Is it really that great? Does it make a difference? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. So we won't bother for that tonight. But in the future, I definitely want to talk a little bit about kind of breaking it down a bit more, and breaking down the tactics behind the games as well. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for